Good morning. We are taking a break from a series, The Ascent, and we are scheduled to begin a Christmas Carol series. Christmas is December already. The year has been challenging, but we have many reasons to celebrate and honor God for His faithfulness. And I want to say this morning and propose that we have Jesus as enough reason to celebrate this year, this Christmas. When I was thinking, we were thinking about how to approach these Christmas carols. The idea of the Christmas tree came to our minds. And we were discussing how we can draw the picture of Christmas to us. And today, and the rest of the Sundays this year, we are going to discuss and draw the characteristics of Christmas as we get to know what the Lord would want to teach us about Christmas. And I want to begin by taking us to the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verses 1 up to 17. Now, looking at those verses, they are verses that Matthew wrote giving the genealogy of Jesus Christ according to the line of Joseph, his father. And you notice from the first verse to verses 17, Matthew is writing about the names of people that were related to Joseph, the father of Jesus Christ. And that is one characteristic that I would want to bring to us this morning, that when we talk about Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ, we are reminded that Christmas is about a relationship. And Jesus was born in a family. Jesus was born in a family that had a lineage. He had his grandfather, he had his great-grandfathers. Jesus had grandmothers, great-grandmothers. Jesus had uncles, aunties. Jesus had cousins, nephews. Jesus had brothers. And I'm sure Jesus had many other members of the family. So Jesus was born in a family. Actually, the first 30 years of Jesus Christ, he grew up serving his family. He grew up serving those he was related to. He grew up among his people, helping his father in the workshop, and I'm sure serving amongst his people. He had brothers and sisters, and the Bible has recorded of brothers that Jesus Christ belonged to. So Jesus Christ was born in a family. He was born in what we would call a family unit. The second thing, and this is exciting when we talk about relationship, is what happened in Mark chapter number 3, verses 31 to 35. Now, the Bible says that Jesus was in a meeting, and people who were gathered around him mentioned to him about the presence of his mother and brothers. And Jesus, the Bible says, looked around and said this to those people. And I want to read Mark chapter number 3, verses number 34. He says, and he looked around in a circle at those who sat about him, and he said, here are my brothers and my mothers and brothers. So Jesus decided to extend his family. And he says in verse 35, for whoever does the will of God is my brother and my sister and my mother. So Jesus himself decided to extend his family. And he said, whoever does the will of God has become his brother, his mother, his sister. And I want to challenge you this morning as we begin our Christmas carols, that Christmas is about relationship. And I want to challenge you this Christmas that you belong to a family. You are born into a family. Maybe you have your grandmother alive, your grandfather alive. You have your father, your mother. You have your brother, your sisters, your uncles, your aunties, your cousins. This is a time to remember our families. This is a time to remember those who are born around, those that belong to our families. And I would say it's a challenge. Maybe you've not called your uncle, talked to your cousin, talked to your sister. Christmas is a good time that you can talk to them, send them a text message, throw them a WhatsApp message, send them an email, call them. I know with COVID it's challenging to visit them, but I would want to encourage you this Christmas. May you find time to bring back a family relationship. Send them a gift. It's good to give to your family. And the second thing I want to challenge us is that we also are invited to the family of God. Jesus Christ is giving this extension that is calling you to belong to the family of God. For those who are born again, like I want to encourage you that it's time that we nurture that relationship we have in Jesus Christ. It's time that we grow that relationship we have in the family of God. And if there you never given your life to Christ, I want to challenge you that it's time that you belonged to the family of God. It only takes that step of faith and invite Jesus into your life, and you become a child, a son and a daughter of God. May God bless you, and Merry Christmas as you celebrate this Christmas Carols 2020.